Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
I'd like to thank Keys, and G for having such a wonderful podcast today. We went on some get some more enthusiasm, man.
Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, a Black Men's podcast where various Black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various Black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G, and today we got Keith.
What's up?
And we got Keys.
Yo.
Also, check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description podcast on YouTube if you want to check out clips of the podcast. We're also on various different podcast platforms if you want to check us out there. Also, you can check me out on the Wisdom app. I'm OPN, where you can just hear me ramble once a week. You got to catch me, though. Hopefully, you can find me. As y'all know, we're also on Rumble. So if you're on Rumble, shout out to y'all. We see y'all over there. I know y'all be listening to us, so we want to shout out to y'all. And beyond that, let's go ahead and get started with the podcast. All right. So I got this video right here that I want to play. I want to see what you think about it.
Robin is a very successful woman. She doesn't need me for a damn thing. She's entrepreneurial. She's what?
I want you.
Yeah, thank you.
So you're superfluous then.
What's that?
So you're superfluous then.
All right. Superfluous. Unnecessary, especially through being more than enough. So basically what that dude says, and basically what Dr. Phil said, that's why if you watch that video, he kind of got stumped. He basically said, you're just unnecessary. You're basically like a pet or a puppet. And pretty much the topic that I want to do today, it's more of...
Yeah, he said that, but he corrected him after he said what he said, but go ahead.
I don't know about y'all, but for me, I don't think I could ever be in a relationship with a woman that basically says that that at no point does she doesn't need me at all.
I disagree with that.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, I've been with my girl for 12 years, and I've been telling her that I want her to like. I tell her all the time, I'm not with you because I want, or I don't want you to be with me because you need to be with me. I want you to be with me because you want to be with me. I've been saying that for years. I'd rather be wanted than needed. That's stupid.
Right, exactly.
That's just exactly. If you need to be needed in a relationship, you're just a needy motherfucker.
Right, and then also when the need is gone, then she's gone. If you're just needed.
Exactly.
Okay, no. I mean, I agree with that. But what just to me, how I always looked at a relationship is more like, I always say it's like a puzzle piece, like a partnership, where two people come together to make this thing work perfectly, you know? So to me, when I look at a relationship, I always said, when you're in a great relationship, when the woman as a man makes you better, as a man, you pull your woman up. So basically you make each other better. So it becomes this great thing. If you're in a relationship, which is kind of like what you guys said, just why I believe is that if you're in a relationship where like you're kind of unnecessary, that you're a thing, to me that kind of makes you replaceable. And I feel like as a relationship, it should be a partnership where you both come together. You know, and I agree, like you should want to be there, but you come together and you together make this relationship just a bigger and better thing and a more healthier and a more prominent thing. That's just how I look at it. And that's how I look at a relationship.
You gotta take out all of the extra stuff. It's just like you're together because you want to be together, right? And
I agree.
It's whoever, wherever you lack. Maybe you lacking something. Maybe she lacks in something. Maybe she's not the best cook and you know how to cook, so you help her how to cook. Or maybe she helps you do something. It really doesn't necessarily matter. You guys are just there, but when you just base it off of need, I think that's one of the major problems with a lot of relationships, which is why they don't really last that long, is because everybody's looking to get got. Like, what's the benefit of being with you? What am I gaining? What am I getting? And that's why their relationships are constantly failing, because everybody's out to what they get out of it. What am I getting out of being with you? That's the problem.
I mean, I do agree with that 100%. I do feel like, well, like I said, I've been in my relationship for 12 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if you're in a relationship, Keys, but yeah, obviously G isn't. So it's like you're looking at it from a single person's point of view.
Yeah. Yep. I
So it's
agree.
like,
I agree.
so it's like if you look at it from actually being in a position of growth, it's like a relationship isn't the same a year. A relationship isn't the same 5 years. Or a relationship isn't the same for 10 years. It's like we've gone through hardships, ups and downs to the point and learn. So yes, maybe before I got into the relationship, I was like, okay, this bitch needs to bring something to the table, equally and shit like this. But just like he just said, it's like I lack in certain that she makes up for, and she lacks in certain that I make up for. And that's just how it is. But you can't just expect a person to automatically bring something to the table, because I believe in this day and age, a lot of people don't bring a lot of things to the table. It's like,
Yeah.
if you truly sit down and think like, her, what do you really bring to this table? And like, I don't think a lot of men even think like that. It's not about what she can bring, or what do you bring to the table, like realistically at the end of the day. I mean, I know that obviously everybody lacks in something, but I do feel like people need to start thinking about that more than anything. Like, what do they bring, and then get into a relationship, because a lot of these people just get into relationships and just be like, okay, well, I'm this, and like, I want her to be this, or I want him to be that, and it's like no, it's like that's not that easy to just say.
Half the time they want them to be something that they're not.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, no, exactly. And then too, it's an age thing too. It's like what I brought at 21 isn't what I bring at 30. Like what I bring at 35 is different too. It's just, so it's like if you're gonna date somebody at 35, if we're gonna date a 21-year-old, she ain't gonna bring a whole lot to the table. But it's like,
I don't
if
think it's.
huh? You said what? I'm sorry.
I don't think it's so much. I don't. I'm sorry, my dog. I don't think it's so much as an age thing. I think it's more so is that, to me, you can't get into a serious relationship until you've been through some stuff. Some people can do it naturally, but a lot of people got to go through something, because if you ain't been through nothing before, when you go through those rough times, when you go through those struggles, when things aren't working out, you're gonna give up. You're gonna fold because you haven't been through nothing yet. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you get in the ring, you got to get hit a couple times, because if you haven't gotten hit and you go into a fight, you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen when I get hit? Because you haven't got hit before. So it's like the same thing, like, when you get in a relationship, you got to been through something. So regardless of age, as as long as you've been through whatever you've been through, that can happen, because you could be an old fool because you haven't been through enough. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't, like, that's why I think like the age thing, I used to be on that, but like you could be 30, 50, 60 and talking about I'm a grown woman, I'm a grown man, and be a grown fool.
I agree with that.
Oh,
Some people
you got
don't
to
want
go
to
through
grow up.
something.
So here's my question. 'Cause I know, like, on multiple times on this podcast, you've been on some of those episode, Keys, where we always, we always take the time to always talk about we're women and all this stuff. But I guess I'm gonna flip it and say, where do you feel men are failing or fucking up at?
Men,
Yeah,
man, there's a lot of areas.
it's fine.
uh,
It's fine.
uh,
Like I said, we got
but
3 hours. Go ahead.
but I mean, mostly to me, some of them is kind of, I hate to say it's kind of justifiable, because the society has taken away so much from the good man, the good gentleman, because he's frowned upon. You know, I mean, the females and the males call him a simp. If he can, if
Hold
you
on. Okay, my
if
fault. Let
you
me let you
care,
finish. Let me let you finish.
yeah, if you care too much, right? If you care too much, you are, considered a simp to the both sexes, right? So then you have to try to be more aggressive and kind of be like, I don't really care, even though you do. And it's like this big whole confusion of play the game or get played or which one you want to do. And we get trapped into this ideology of what a man is supposed to be. And I think that's what really screws us up. So then you have these guys who's out here and like, you know what? I don't want to deal with a relationship because I don't want to deal with what comes with a relationship. Like I want the sex, but I don't want to deal with a relationship because of all the stuff that I have to be with this woman. So instead of having to spend the money all the time, instead of having to, try to play this game back and forth, I rather just get what I need to get and then go on to the next chick. And I think a lot of what's going on right now is just a lot of guys just really don't want to be in relationships because there's really no benefit. You have a baby, she could take the kids. You get married, she could leave you, take the house and the kids. So guys are just like, screw it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I see.
So I want to go on to that later, but I want to kind of go back to the simp thing, and this is what I was going to say, where you're saying it's kind of confusing. And to me, and this has just always been my issue, especially with simps, and this is just where I have an issue with it. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's wrong to be a simp. I think it's okay to simp, but you're only supposed to simp for one woman, and that is your one. Well, my fault. Let me say this properly. You're only supposed to simp for one woman, and that is your wife. The problem with simp, my issue with them is that they give wifey benefits to women that aren't wives. And that's how I look at it. That's why I feel like where the real issue is. And because of them, when you're a simp, you kind of fuck it up for everybody. So women have these unrealistic expectations of what you should be. And it's like, and then men are just out to say, well, this is what I got to give to a woman, but she doesn't really give you anything. So just to me, I think just in the simpest behavior, I think it does a lot of damage to relationships as a whole, because you're giving all these benefits to women that are not worthy of those benefits.
Well, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? Because you can say the same thing about women. Women says that they're not going to do something. They'll do this once they become a wife, and they'll do this once they become a wife. And it's like it's better to put it into practice, right? So when you do so you first of all, if you're doing it before you become a wife, that's less. A man knows that you have potential to be a wife. And the same thing for men. If you're showing these traits of a husband while you're dating, that lets her know, okay, this is an equal mate. This is some. If he asks me to marry me, I'm going to say yes. Supposed to, the other way around. Like it just has to go that way. It's one of those things where people just really need to let stuff roll. People get so fixated on their past relationships and what's going to happen later, and they need to live in the moment at that time and work it out with that person because they're so stuck on the simp thing and the cheating thing, and instead of they're focused on all the future and the past, and they're not focused on the moment, and that's what is screw up.
Well, no, I actually agree with that, because no, you should focus on those things, because the thing is like, I get what you're saying, live in the moment, but at the same time, and somebody said it best, is that we're a bunch of us, the young kids and our generation grew up watching our fathers and uncles do that same and basically get basically destroyed or get over in the courts and all that stuff. So no, in my personal opinion, it is important to look at those things. Or I like to say, your job as a man, before you decide to put a ring on a woman's finger, your job is actually going through this relationship. Same with for a woman, it's to check off as many boxes as possible, because you could go ahead and just set that aside. I think that's where a lot of mistakes are happening, where a lot of men will just set it aside to be like, well, live in the moment. They get into that relationship and then they wind up getting fucked over at the end because they didn't pay attention to those past behaviors. I think those are important to take into account.
Pay attention. You can pay attention, but at the end of the day, you're not God. Certain stuff is openly like there. It's there. You know, like okay, this is not cool. You know, she's out late with different guys. That's obvious, right? But there's little things that are not so obvious. So
Agreed.
you can't really go off that, which is why you have to worry about the present, you know?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you use that to check off as many boxes as possible. That's all I'm saying. And you should use that as a guideline.
That's the problem. That's the reason why women have so much problems with relationships. Why? Because they're too busy checking on this list of everything this guy needs to be instead of just living in that moment with that guy. And they're too worried about what he's going to do later or what he did before or what their past relationship did before instead of living right there. And then you miss a moment. You ever like, damn, why did the day go by so fast? The day went by so fast because you're worried about yesterday and tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And that when you're in a relationship, a lot of people's problem when they're checking these boxes is they're going off their past relationships. They're going off what they think is going to be on the future.
Which I think is important to go off of. I think it definitely, if you don't know what you're getting into, I think it is important to like look at those boxes and see what you can accept or not. Like, I'm not saying it needs to be perfect. I'm not sitting there and saying this is a list, and you like, especially as a dude, you should not be going to this list and check off everything. Like, that's impossible. There's no saying that's a perfect person in the world. I think we all can admit that. But I am saying, in my personal opinion, that you should go when you're at least trying to enter and potentially going to marry this woman. You should try to look and try to check off as many boxes as possible before you do a fully commitment. Instead of like, I get what you're saying, live in the moment, yeah, but that living in the moment can also lead to many people's destructions.
In business, how many times do they tell you sometimes you need to take a leap?
Exactly. I said the same thing. I literally said, I said a relationship to me is like an investment.
Dive off the deep end without a life jacket. Last time I checked, Nipsey Hussle. I mean, sometimes you just don't know. And you just have to deal. And then you have to work through what you have to work through. And then you find something that you're not willing to tolerate. At that point, you have to rectify it. You have to take care of it. People are going to get away with what you allow them to get away with at the end of the day. So it doesn't really freaking matter, you know, what's going to happen or what should have happened. When those things come up, you just, hey, I'm not tolerating this. But what the key thing is, what men is messing up on is they're not putting themselves in a position to be able to say that, right? So what happens is they're not in a position to say, hey, I'm not dealing with this because their options are low, right? Because they're not financially stable enough. They might not have their own, or they might have moved in with a girl before they got their stuff together. So now, in turn, you know, when a girl, you know, because a female, she's going off emotions. You know, that's why they say it's really bad to move in with a girl, because if she gets mad, she gonna feel like she could tell you to get out because it's her place, right? Because it was her place before it was your place. So you got some females that are like that. So the key thing is where men is messing up is they got to get themselves together. Stop going around messing with these bras and getting them pregnant and can't take care of them, and get yourself together first, and then try to get with somebody. And then if you don't have it like that, try to get with somebody that can bring something equal to the table so y'all can do it together. But the problem is they get with these skanks and they sleep around. They have all these kids. They could barely take care of themselves, and now they got to take care of a kid and a woman and wonder why their life is in shambles.
Okay, so I want to go a little bit religious in this, but this is something that somebody said, and I really agree with this saying. I heard this just a couple of weeks. Well, I would say now about a month ago. I thought it was just a genius way to put it, and he basically said Adam had two wives, Eden and Eve, and what he said was, as a man, you're supposed to do in that order, where Eden is basically the Garden of Eden. The first thing a man takes care of, the first thing he's supposed to love is his land. So he's supposed to get the land first, then you're supposed to get the woman. Because if you do it the other way around and get the woman first, that's when you have all these issues. That's when you have all these problems. All this crap happens. So what he was saying was, you should focus on getting the land first and build your land and build your stuff up first, then go after a woman. But one of the issues with doing it that way is that sometimes you can get yourself put into a position where you're so busy trying to work on yourself, so busy trying to get things going, so busy trying to make your money that you don't take the time to go out and look for a woman and look for a relationship. So by the time that you're probably ready, and the same thing happens for a woman too, but we're just focusing on the men right now. You're so busy trying to get your legacy up that you basically wasted all that time when you maybe should have maybe looked for a woman who might be willing to build with you. Instead, you take all that time just trying to build your lifestyle up, and now you have that, and now you probably age yourself out of a chance of getting a lot of women. Although some people argue that, but go ahead.
She will come to you. There's co-worker situations, there's clientele situations. You just have to recognize the signs and understand that no matter what you're doing, it's okay to take a break. Matter of fact, it's healthy to take a break. Some people get fixated on, I get it, you gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe, right? But at the same token, you gotta take time out for self. You gotta take time out for enjoyment, because if you don't, you could fall into depression because you're so stuck on there. And it's like, what if you working 20 years trying to reach this goal and still you're trying to be a millionaire, and it's been 20 years and you're still not a millionaire? Now you're all messed up in the head. You've been putting in all this work and it's not working, and you're losing life. But in the midst of you trying to make that million, if you're living a little bit of life, at least you have a better quality of life. You can get some enjoyment. It was I wish I knew the book. I'm gonna try to look for it, but it was a book of an old lady. She spent years and years wanting to do everything for her kids. She wanted them to have a nice home. She wanted them to go to school. She wanted to do all these different things. And her regretment in life, this old lady who wrote this book, her regretment in life was that she never enjoyed her life. She was so fixated on trying to get that bag that by the time she did everything she needed to do, but then she was too old to do anything, to live her life. And it's cool. You want to get everything, but you have to have time for yourself. The life is short. You got to have that quality time. So in turn, like, it's not hard to find a nice woman, a nice girl. It's just about putting yourself out there and allowing things to naturally happen. You know what I'm saying? It's not always necessarily about intercourse. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoying each other's company could get you a long way. Because if you mentally a woman, she's already halfway there. Just saying.
Hey Keith, like I know we went a bunch of different directions. I want to give you a chance if you want to speak on this a little bit.
Oh yeah, no. I just let you guys talk. I will say this. I feel absolutely terrible for anybody, because I know that I'm about to be 35 this year, and I know how you can have a bunch of chick friends, but there's nothing like having that significant other. You can have friends, you can have family, but there's nothing like that, whether you're straight, whatever, not straight, it's nothing like having that companion. Because just like he said, people get mentally messed up. And a person can say that they're not alone, but yes, if you've never had that companionship and that, because I mean, I've had multiple relationships in the past, but it's nothing like having that one. Yes, I would say, to the other point, well, before I finish this one, to the marriage and stuff like that, it's like, yes, I do feel like too many people are busy. It's I mean, I will say age plays a part, but it's like, I feel like all the way around in this day and age, because I know women that don't want relationships. And it used to be when I was younger, even a teenager or even in my 20s, it's like chicks were always looking for a guy who can be the father figure to their children. But I know multiple chicks now with 2 and 3 kids with multiple baby fathers who don't want a relationship or their kids to have a stable male impact. Like I'm not gonna say that's because men are simping or anything or soft or it's just this new era of I know I know multiple people that are in relationships, but they live in separate places. And it's like I've never understood that. Like, yeah, I'm not saying that you have to move with a person right away, but it's like after a year or two, if you're still in a relationship, you should evolve. I've always felt like people don't evolve in the last like 5 years. And like, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll say the pandemic didn't help, but it's like people are so busy, just like you said, trying to be like, oh, I want to make so much money. And it's like, yes, if you're not willing to take a chance out of your comfort zone, people will not get out of their comfort zone when it comes to relationships, when it comes to making money, because I feel like I would not have been able to do everything that I've done if I stayed in my comfort zone. And it's like, I wouldn't have my son, I wouldn't have my daughter, I wouldn't have the experience and the knowledge that I have. But it's like, it's just crazy how this world is just, or not the world, but just people just don't want to evolve. And I think that's one of the biggest issues in today's world. It's like there's no such thing as evolution. It's like I get that, the people that run this country do not evolve, but it doesn't mean us as a society can't evolve. It's insane. But that's what I'll point or put to those 2 points. I mean, just so you can move on, I guess.
Yeah. I kind of want to go a little bit back because you said I'm sure we all heard these arguments about like the high value man and man not being man anymore. So you're saying that you don't think that I'm talking to you, Keith. You don't think that that might not be a problem? Like you don't think that there's not a problem
I
there?
mean, I don't feel like that's the biggest issue. I feel
Okay.
like I said, I just feel like men not being able to be men is I feel like that's what this new generation. I feel like our generation is just so tired of hoping that we'll find a wife or hoping that we'll find a perfect job that'll give us millions of dollars. Is that we have completely just lost our drive to, like I said, change. It's like you like I just don't see, like, I guarantee that anybody tries to go out and find a relationship right now, they're not going to get married. And even if they do, they're not going to be married for long because people, it's either two options. Either people get married hella early within 6 months to a year. What can you really know about a person in 6 months? I don't care if you do a deep dive into their history online and all. Like, you can't mentally know a person in 6 months to say that I'm going to marry them. You just can't. You can't until you actually spend time with this person, live with this person, and evolve with this person before you get married. Like what he said is very true. It's like uh I lost my point, but
It's cool.
what he said was very true. It's like, you have to take time in these relationships, and it's like nobody wants to take the time and but I just feel like it just can't happen. It just can't happen in this day and age. Like, there is no such thing as time. It's like everybody wants now. It's like I want a relationship now. But it's like you have to build on this. So they're like, okay, we can't get it, so we don't want it. And it's like everybody always wants things their way. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, a woman 9 times out of 10 brings more to the table than a man in this day and age. And yes, that's one of the biggest issues for men. It's like not a lot of men bring what women bring. It's like, yes, if a woman has 3 kids, 9 times out of 10, she has Section 8, she has WIC, and she has food stamps. And so that's already, and so she has a roof over her house, or sorry, a roof over her head, child support, and food stamps. So what do you can you top those 3 things off the top of the dome? Like, can you as a man say that you bring food automatically, money consistently without doing a damn thing, and a roof? Can you say those things?
Right, and that goes right back into wanting to what they when not necessarily needing you, but wanting you.
Exactly. And that's the point that I'm saying. It's like I'd rather her want to be with me and feel like she and she wants my love, not the point, because I know that I can't top her on what she is going to have. So it's like I need her to feel, because I feel like a want is more like, damn, I want to be with him. I want to do for him. I want to be the best woman for him. It's like I don't want her to ever say that, oh, I need to be a better woman. It's like that sounds terrible. So I don't need you to be a better woman. I just need you to be a better woman. It's like I need that to already happen. I That should already be installed in your mind. I don't need you to change. I don't need you to be none of that. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like at the end of the day, men men have high expectations for women, and women have high expectations for men. I feel like, yes, in
Right.
like, oh, no, that that's what he said. I remember now. Live in the moment, and that is 100% true. It's like if you're so busy thinking about her past, because I tell people this all the time. If I thought about every chick that who she fucked before me, I would never be in a relationship. Like, what does that matter? Like, you know what? That's never made any sense to me since I was probably about maybe 24, 25. It's like, like, what does it matter who she's fucked? It's like, what does it matter? It's like, okay, like you can go on like, if you're the type of guys that need to go get DNA tests and all that shit, that like if you're gonna go to her and be like, hey, I need you to go take an AIDS test and chlamydia, gonorrhea, and all that stuff, then okay, be that guy. But it's like, what does it matter? It's like unless she's a murderer or a psychopath or a jail hopping fucking weirdo. But it's like I just want to know what about her past matters so much to you, G. Like what does her past? Because you can't judge somebody off of your past. Or no, I'm sorry, their past. It's like, what does her past have
Right.
to do with anything?
Right. I totally agree, because at the end of the day, it's just like a relationship, right? People renew their vows, because at the end of the day, I'm not the same person I was when I got married. I'm not the same person I was when I was in high school, junior high, 20s. So you're 30, like you're always changing. So you're never gonna be that same. You're gonna have some traits, but there's gonna be some differences here and there.
Exactly.
All right. So to answer that, something they said, a woman's past can be a mirror to your future. So it doesn't mean that her past is guaranteed, but the thing is, when you look at when you go by her past, like it shows signs that it could be tied to certain negative traits that no matter what it is different for everybody, but it shows certain negative traits that you may have to deal with in the future. Even you could like you look at a lot of people today who are in relationships that just kind of like forego those traits that you're like, okay, it doesn't matter. Usually in the future, as you get older, a lot of those times those things prop up in the future and can be damaging to your relationship in the future. Now, again, what I'm saying is not necessarily 100% guaranteed, but that's why I said, in my personal opinion, when you're looking at not necessarily trying to go out and fuck a girl, that's different. But when you're actually trying to start a relationship with a woman in long term, you should actually look for those traits and try to check off as many boxes as possible. Go ahead.
I agree to an extent, man, because half of these dudes is hoes, bro. And
yeah.
Steve Harvey said it best. He only gonna change for one woman. So, you know, that X's out everything he's done in the past. Because yeah, he was a hoe in the past, but then he find this woman that got his nose open and he changed his whole stilo up. Now his past it don't matter because he's not that dude no more. You know what I'm saying? Now
But
he's
what
a
does that
dog.
have to, but what does that have to do with the man? Like that's
But no,
I mean that's not really but that's not really a negative for a man.
Right, but it's a negative either way, right? It's a
How?
negative either way. We always try to do this equality thing, right? When it comes to men and women and stuff like that, we have our differences, but we try to do this equality thing. And so, if you want to go equality wise, it should be the same thing. She has a past. Yeah, it's going to affect you socially for people who don't understand the what only you and your who you with understand what y'all went through or what y'all going through or her past or whatever the case may be. Sometimes you could be with a female. I've been with a female. Okay, they maybe got guys running around talking about she's a flip or whatever the case may be. But the girl already told me with her struggle and when she was on the street and when she was prostituting. So when you, in turn, when you come up to me and you tell me that she's a flip, I don't give a F what you're saying to me.
Exactly.
I know her truth. Okay, I know her past. So therefore, I really don't care. It's like, okay, fine. To you, this is bad. To you, this is bad. To you, this is bad. It has nothing to do with what's going on in my household. So you can't always necessarily go off the past because you never know what a person have been through or what they're going through or why they did what they did or whatever. Like sometimes you could change that. Sometimes you could get with a female and you could do simple things, just taking her out and getting her flowers and be surprised when you find out that nobody has ever in their life bought them flowers. And they will
So
treat you like gold. So it's like it's just the past. You can't constantly go off of their past. I think because I think that's a bad problem in relationships and sometimes even with corporate world, right? So they go off your high school records of how you was in high school. It's like in high school you didn't have no struggles. In high school you didn't have a whole lot of consequences to your actions. But I'm an adult now. You feel me? I'm an adult now with responsibilities and I gotta work. So you're judging me off of what I did in high school, and I'm in my mid 20s. You see what I'm saying? And you kind of doing the same thing with a female. If you're going off of her past in her younger days, right? And she's taking a shift, but once you see that shift in her actions, right? That's like living in the moment again. You can see the shift in her actions. But if her actions is showing the same stuff from her past, then yeah, you can them, of course. But if her actions is not showing that, then you don't have to worry about that. But if you're worried about that, every action is going to show that. Every time she goes out and every time she does something, you're thinking about her past instead of thinking about the moment of what's actually going on. You're too concerned with what she did before. So you can't focus on if she's really doing something or not because you're steady on what she did before with whoever she did before. You get what I'm saying?
Two things though. I will say this. That's like saying, and it's like me, I'm so against the prison system. It's like if a man does something, or a man or a woman does something, and they spend 8 years in jail, and when they get out of jail, they still that's still on their record. Why are you still judging a person after they've done their time? So it's like in the j- job market, it's like, why do you think these people go back to jail? Because they can't get the job that they can. So it's like, I think about that in a relationship. It's like, if you're just as you said, if your friend says she's like this or she's like that, and it's like, yes, maybe when I was younger, I would have had that view of like, oh hell no, like I ain't gonna mess with this chick. But now that I'm older, it's like just like you said, everybody has struggles. Everybody, like, I'm not proud of everything that I've done, but it's like even if she didn't come to me right away and tell me, it's like that's her choice. It's like if you're choosing to be in a relationship with this person, you're choosing to take all of their baggage at that time.
Agreed.
And it's like at that time, if she says to you, hey, like, I used, just like you said, I used to be a prostitute, or I used to, hook up with everybody, and she's like, because I was on the streets, or I was in a bad relationship or something. And that's another thing. It's like, what if she was with a guy that made her mentally go through those things? Because it's like, it's also your job to, just like he said, to make her better. Or just like you said, it's like, I can't just think like, okay, well, she used to be a hoe of my homeboy Tommy, and it's like, is she gonna do the same thing to me? Like, I would never think like that. I'd be like, I'm gonna make this bitch better. I'm gonna make this bitch stronger if I'm feeling her. But everybody has a past. Everybody has a past. And like, everybody has bad traits. But like I said, there's no way I would go into a relationship or a future with a chick thinking like, what you've done before me matters, because it just doesn't. It doesn't have nothing to do with my future. And because if I don't feel a future with you, then I'm not going to keep pursuing that.
I agree and disagree at the same time. So I understand maybe if you talk about feelings, and I'll say this straight up as somebody even went through it. I don't care what any of these dudes says. You can't control your feelings. You can try to, you can fight it, but if you really care for somebody, you're gonna care for somebody. Like, it's very hard to control your feelings when you feel for somebody. And I'll be honest with you, that shit fucking sucks. But with that being said, to sit down, okay, this is the basic answer I was going to ask Keith. Actually, let me just say this point, and then I'll ask Keith this straight answer, which I think Keith, you pretty much said it, just answered it. But to me, it's like, no, I think that absolutely does matter, because again, like I said, to me, her past has a tendency to show your future. Now, depending on who you are as a man, that's why I've always said, this is one of my sayings. I say this: every man fucks the standards, but marries the exception. The problem with this theory is the exception is different for every man. So every woman has luxury to feel like that she's the exception for somebody, when a lot of times you're just the standard. So due to that fact, and I like I said, it's different for every man.
Break that down in layman's terms.
I know I'm getting there. So basically, what I'm saying is, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, like, her past and the shit that she does definitely has effect, because it goes into, what are you willing to deal with and what are you willing to put up with, And to me, no, you out there being all out there and stuff, yeah, you may change, but again, looking at the people before me, pushing aside those really bad traits and those bad bets, typically those bad traits tend to pop up after a while, and you wind up having to pay for those traits.
So who does it affect, really?
I was about to say, like, that's just a fucked up way.
It affects the it
way
affects
to
the
think about a
No,
relationship.
it's like spinning rims.
No, hold on,
You know
wait,
about-
no, let me ask that question. What does it affect? It affects the health and the well-being of the relationship. That's what it affects. That's
No, it
simple.
doesn't.
Yes, hell yeah, it does.
Okay, no. On your side of the relationship, it affects up your side of the relationship, and because you are going into a relationship thinking that, okay, bad traits are going to affect my future, but I'm just like, what bad traits?
No.
What?
That's not what I said. My exact word was those bad traits have a tendency to prop up in the future. And again, like I said, and again, that's why I can't be. Go ahead.
Pop up in the future and affect whose relationship?
The relationship. It's not about whose relationship.
Why?
It's the relationship.
Okay. Why would that affect the relationship?
Because let's just say that
No. Just go ahead. Why?
I'm getting there. You keep interrupting me. So the reason being is because let's say you have a girl who basically likes to be out there, who likes to go out, and this is just an example, likes to go out, want to go party, all that stuff, which is great, fine, all well-being, whatever. But she's used to living a certain lifestyle. She's used to being out there, going out there, fucking around, right? So then you get a girl now that's in a situation where she's used to being fucked out. Now you're asking her to kind of go against who she is. Now, I will admit this. I have no problem with it because I've said it multiple times. A woman will change for a man that she loves, but she has to love that man enough. And that's not a guarantee. That's no guarantee. So if you get with a woman that has negative traits, let's say things go really bad in a relationship, 9 times out of 10 she's going to default to those traits. So if she has a tendency to basically sleep around, you don't think that shit ain't gonna prop up sometime in the future?
Well, if she did it I'm talking about what affects the relationship that you're in, right? So now if she's doing that while you're in a relationship, that's totally different from what she did in the past. Has nothing to do with your relationship. That's why I said it's like
yeah, but it's a good sign of what you may have to deal with in a relationship. I didn't say it's guaranteed, but it's something that you should take to know.
But the reason I say it's like spinning rims, it's best. Cat Williams say it's best. When you're in a car, you can't see them bitches spin.
All right, but then.
Okay, what I'm saying is, all you're worried about is embarrassment. You're not worried about a relationship. You're worried about embarrassment. Oh, it comes up later. Well, guess what? If your relationship is going fine and she hasn't cheated on you and she hasn't done these things with you, then what happened before doesn't even matter.
Okay, hold on, wait. Let me stop you right there because, like I said, just like you, I could even say the same thing. Whereas, again, it's like I said. What I said a relationship to me is like an investment. When you go in, you're taking a bet. It may work, it may not. I'm not saying don't do it. You got to go through the process to know what it is. But the thing is, you're telling me that I should be going to a relationship, not thinking about it. She has all these bad signs. I'm supposed to take that gamble instead of watching her and making sure that she has the best traits that I could get as me checked off, and have a better chance, a higher chance in my future for that shit to last a long term. If not for
name one person that don't have a past.
I didn't say that. I said I'm supposed to just set aside all those bad traits instead of trying to check off as many boxes as possible to hopefully get the best outcome.
Yes.
First of all, nobody.
Hold on. I can tell you why. Yes, you're not supposed to go into a relationship like that. I can tell you exactly why, and because there's a million other women just like her. Like compare that into you can't compare that to an investment. An investment is maybe yes, there's hundreds of things that you could invest in, but it's like there's a million different women in the world. You don't have to you just going into a relationship thinking about it like it's a business is a terrible trait. It's just a terrible trait. That's just a terrible trait. I would never agree with that. And because you're never going to feel true love. If this is a business and like an accomplishment or something like that, and like I get that's how you
You'll
see
never
love.
get satisfied.
Yeah, exactly. You'll never be satisfied.
Okay,
That my people. That's actually a saying. People say a marriage is a business, and I feel like it's a flawed saying
oh hell
because
yeah.
exactly what he just said.
but that's what I'm saying. Before you even get into that marriage, you should already have those things checked off, and you should already be at that point where you're at least bare minimum. Because of course, once you get into marriage, all that stuff, things do change. I've talked to many people. Heck, I've talked to some of you guys. Of course, it's never the same. But what I'm saying is that no, in my personal opinion, I'm
How
not
do you
saying.
think you get to
Wait,
marriage though?
let me finish. No, I get that, but that's what I'm saying. Is that you got to go through that. You should still have that conversation and have at least some of those things checked out. Because again, the needs of each man is very different from each man. So I can't necessarily tell you. I can only maybe tell you in generalization, but I can't tell you what makes a perfect woman because everybody has different needs and different wants in the relationship. But what I can say, depending on what that is, you should try your best to find the woman that best fits you as best as possible, and that goes with being in a relationship, dating, getting in a relationship, taking that time to figure out if she's the one. And if she's not, you're wasting both your time. You need to move on and find the next
You
one.
need to based off her being the one based off of when she's in your presence, what she does to you, how she treats you, how she is with you, what she did with whoever has nothing to do with you. You don't even know what kind of there could have been a reason behind everything. She could have been in an abusive relationship and said, "Fuck it, he's cheating. I'm gonna start cheating too."
And a lot of those times, but no, because my whole entire issue is, and this is where I'm having an issue with your argument, is that you're basically saying just push all that aside because you're basically telling me that you should just make a hoe a housewife, and I don't agree with that at all.
No, you know
that's kind of what you're saying.
No, you know when a woman is out there. It's not difficult to figure that out. That's not difficult. You don't have to do a checkbox to figure that out. You know, if a female if you could figure that out early on, you know, and if you figure it out later, cool. But you know, at the end of the day, it's just like you sound like how the females sound. That's the problem with the females. They're always concerned with who he's doing, where he's going. Then she's in her phone. Then she's in his phone, and then she's turning
Okay, see,
something.
I'm
she's turning
not.
something
Hold on,
into
wait a minute.
nothing.
I'm not saying all that. All I'm saying is that you should. I said through the process of the relationship, you should get to know her. Through that process of the relationship, when you're going out with her, when you're dating, you should get to know her, and you should look at those things. And you, as a person, before you even enter into a marriage, should figure out as a man, can I put up with this shit or can I not? Is all I'm saying.
Right, but that still has nothing to do with her past.
That has a lot to do with her past.
No, it has to do with her presence. She could be a bitch to somebody else. Guess what? You know what? My wife is probably ruthless, bruh. If somebody says something to her the wrong way and it has nothing to do with work, she'll probably cuss them the fuck out. But guess what? She don't do that shit to me. So it's just like you have to concentrate on your relationship with the person, not on the shit outside the relationship. You need to concentrate on you.
What do you mean outside the
person.
relationship? What does me not thinking about what she's done and how she? I do agree, the past and the present absolutely matter. But to sit down and say I shouldn't take that into consideration, I think you should. I think when you do go in a relationship, you should take that in consideration. I'm not saying that should be defining. Because like I said, I sit there and I just said it right now. There's no such thing as a perfect person in this world. If you're trying to get perfect, because that's what I think a lot of people have issues with, is that people are trying to find this perfect one with this perfect dream girl. There's no such thing. Y'all need to get that out of your head.
So let's check this out. Let's say you get with a girl and her past is she's bad with money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take the whole stuff out the way. She's bad with money. Okay. Then when she gets with you, she continues to show traits that she's bad with money. You as a business person, you're like, damn, I don't want to deal with nobody that's bad with money. You make suggestions. You say, hey, I noticed that you're being real loose with your money. Now, and once you guys been in a relationship a while, you have a right to kind of, lean towards, giving her some advice about that, right? Now, if she continues to be bad with money, you have a choice to be with that person. You don't have to necessarily judge her by her past, but you could be a beacon Meaning, if she starts like leaning, it's progress, not perfection. So if she starts leaning your way, like, okay, hey babe, I did good. I went to the mall and I only got one thing. That's like, dang, okay, she's listening. She's actually trying to get
Evolution.
there. You
Evolution.
feel? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? She's trying to
Okay,
get there.
and that's a good
But if
example. Go
you
ahead.
just go based off of, oh, her past is this, then you're gonna be hard up on her every time she spends something or every time she does this, and it's gonna cause an argument. You're gonna go back and forth. It's gonna be not worth it because you're too stuck on her past.
Okay,
You
hold
gotta
on,
be
hold
you
on, hold
gotta be a
on.
beacon.
Hold on. Okay, so I do definitely agree with what you're saying, but there's a little bit of caveat there, and this is what I'll sit there and say. So again, that depends. So okay, like I said, if I know she's bad with money, if we're in a relationship, because again, that to me is not a red line where it's like you got to go. At least in my personal opinion. But if I know that she's been bad with money, then of course, again, like I said, I keep that in the back of my mind as a note. Then now we're in the relationship. All right, she's still showing signs bad with money. Then I'm gonna go in and talk to her. Hey, try to help her out, try to prove it. And if she shows improvement, then okay. If she shows improvement, she showed that she's trying. Okay, she's willing to improve. She's willing to make it work, and then yeah, I could work with that. Or like I said again, this is not necessarily a red line for me if she is bad with money and we're in the relationship and she doesn't show improvement, but everybody she because again she ticks all these other great boxes, then at that point we're going to have a conversation of this is the thing. If we're going to do this for real, that's fine, but you can't be in control of the money. And I'm going to put you on an allowance. Now you as a woman have the list. Wait, oh no, wait. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
laugh.
you lost.
No,
You lost
pause.
me,
No,
bro.
wait. Let me
You
finish.
lost me.
No. Let me finish. No, let me finish. Let me finish before you talk. I get the laugh, but this is the point. Either you're not going to have control of money, or I'm going to have to put you on lines. If she doesn't like it, guess what? She has to be at least. I ain't fucking with this shit. I'm out, which is cool. But I'm saying there's that choice.
No, the choice is you don't have to put it out there, bro. If she's not good with money, you do your suggestions. She still continues to show the same traits, and she's showing no progress and no intention on changing. And it's something you don't want to deal with. You just don't pursue the relationship anymore. You
But
don't have to do.
but
You
that's what
don't
I'm
have
saying.
to
It
do all
depends.
the extra caveats. All that stuff is is BS.
It's but
Even if you, go ahead.
No, but again, it depends on the person. I'm just putting out different things. Like I agree, yeah. If you can't, that's why I said men can put up with different things. There's certain things like what I always say, body count. I don't care what anybody says. That number matters to every man. It just depends on the number. Some dudes, like I said.
No.
So you're telling me that you'll be fine with a girl who fucked 2,000 dudes?
Body count don't matter, dude.
Wouldn't care.
Body count doesn't matter.
You wouldn't care if a woman fucked 2,000 dudes before you?
No. Wouldn't care. What the fuck's that got to do with me?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I couldn't do it.
And that's
2,000. Yeah, 2,000 is a lot.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question? What does body count have to do with you in a relationship?
Exactly.
No, let him answer. Let him answer.
Well, I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's because it tends to show. Well, like not even that. Fuck that. For me personally, no. F that. Wait, let me answer. You keep interrupting me. Let me answer. But she's about to answer. At the end of the day, no. For me personally, I just can't take. I just naturally in my mind be just disgusted by it. I don't care when you have a number that's just too high for me. I just can't do it because I can never look at you like.
Guess what? You'll never know the real number.
I agree. I don't think anybody.
So why does it matter to you? You'll never know the real number.
No, wait. No. I just told you. I literally just told you. No, I will always be yes. If she tells me, I would totally be disgusted, of course. But that's why you don't ask. Don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask the stuff that you don't want to know, which is what they say.
It don't matter what her body count is, bro, because at the end of the day, it was before you. It doesn't matter. You can't do nothing about the past.
I completely disagree. I think body count definitely does matter. Absolutely. And I think to set that aside.
It counts if she has a disease. It counts if something's wrong with her. If nothing's wrong with her.
So wait a minute. So you're going to say a woman who had like two. I'm being extreme, super extreme. 2,000 body. You don't think that there might be something a little bit off about her? If she has that many bodies,
like what?
you know.
That's what I'm saying. Give me an example. What?
Like what's off with her?
I mean,
Tell me.
No, I'll put it to you like this. Me personally, outside of maybe a porn star and prostitute, I have yet to meet a girl who had a super high body count that didn't seem like a little bit kind of like she just seemed like there was something a little bit off about her. It's hard to explain. Like like I said, if I had her here, I would like introduce you. But when you talk to her, it's like she might be a little bit off.
That's her, but you still haven't said what
say,
her body count has to do with you.
No, I just told you. I said I don't care what anybody. I literally said that. I said I don't care what you guys say. If I know her body count, it will always bother me. I don't give a fuck what it says. That will bug the fuck out of me. If I'm walking around, I got a girl that had that for 2,000 dudes before me. Yeah, I couldn't do with that because it would just bug the shit out of me. It's that simple. There is no what is it doesn't.
You're gonna die a lonely man.
If I got to deal with one with 2,000 bodies, I'd rather die alone. I have no problem with that.
I'm just saying, you're gonna die a lonely man.
Again, if I'd rather die lonely than be with a girl with 2,000 bodies, absolutely, no problem.
Then there you go.
There you go. I'm not arguing that point. But to me, it's just crazy that you all will sit there and say, "Hey, I could easily fuck with a girl with 2,000 bodies, have no issue."
You're worried about the wrong thing. Yeah, what does that matter?
I know it's not about what I'm saying. That shit matters to me, and in my personal opinion, it matters to most dudes. Most dudes, in my personal opinion, and even talked to a lot of guys, have real big issues with numbers.
I don't agree with that.
Look, the days
you don't wait. No, stop. Go ahead, Keith.
No, I will say that I don't agree with that. That most dudes feel like that, especially at our age. I guarantee you, most dudes do not feel like that.
I will agree with that.
Hold on. I'll let you speak.
Go ahead.
I will say this: in this day and age, if this bitch fucked 2,000 men and she got her head on right and she got a bag and she got and she's willing to make money and build, I don't give a fuck how many dudes. I wouldn't give a fuck if she fucked 10,000 guys. Like I said, I'd rather build something with the bitch who has some type of experience and knowledge in life than a fucking virgin who ain't fucked a soul, who has no ambition. Fuck that noise at the end of the day. Like I said, body count, like I said, when I was younger, I'll give you that 100%. But now that I'm older, I can give a flying fuck how many dudes she fit. As long as
wow.
No, hold on, listen to me. I'll let you talk.
That wasn't me, by the way. Go ahead.
Okay, no. Okay, no, I'm sorry.
No, I was just giving you an amen, brother.
Okay, no, it's just like at the end of the day, yes, most dudes are worried about, if this bitch got kids, this bitch got this bitch got that, her body count. Like I said, man, it's about that bag at the end of the day. At 35 years old, it should be about that bag. Fuck all that noise at the end of the day. It should be about building an empire. That's what it should be about. Niggas is worried about the wrong shit. And or sorry, let me rephrase that. A niggas that you know is what was worried about the wrong shit. Because I guarantee you not a motherfucker I know in Vegas will tell you her body count matters at the age of 30 and higher. If she ain't got no diseases or chlamydia or anything like that, because I will say this, her and like all that loose pussy shit, that's a myth. There's a such thing as a gynecologist who can snap that motherfucker right back every time. So that's a myth. Trust me. I know a dude who's a, what is that shit called? An OBGYN? He snaps pussies back for a living. And he was like, he's done porn stars, the chicks who fuck multiple guys, escorts. I know escorts that are some of the baddest bitches in the world. They come to my job at 2 a.m. driving Mercedes, fucking Benzes, bad bitches. You think I give a flying fuck if this bitch has a body count? What the fuck does that have to do with in 2023? Like, that's some young nigga shit. So, like
Right.
I
And
said,
that purity stuff is that.
Hold on, wait,
That's
hold on,
over.
wait. Let me respond to him real quick. So I've said this on the podcast before, so people can't say I haven't said it, and I do agree. I will say, and this is one thing I will admit that as a man gets older, the less he gives a fucks about body count. I will agree. Now, depending on what that number is, it's different for every dude. But I will say, yes, once you get about, probably it is when you hit 35. I know when I talk to dudes when they're 40. I know when I talk to, even when I was in my 20s. Usually older men give less fucks about that. The
I
older you
was
get,
like
the
that
less
in my
fuck.
20s.
Yes. Pretty much all of us were. So I
I
will,
was no. I mean, I didn't care about body count in my 20s.
I would say yes, about 25, I stopped caring because I can't control a woman's body count. I stopped. Like, that's why I
but this
said
is not about
18,
controlling woman.
21, yeah, okay, I cared. But no.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this: it's not about controlling woman. I actually, I mean, I know that's not what you're saying, but I'm just putting this out there. Like, to me, it's not about controlling woman. I don't believe in controlling woman, but I will say that as a man, you have a right to control what you do and what you're willing to put up with, and that's what I believe.
Like I said, I mean, I'm not taking what you're saying away from you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, or I'm just agreeing with Keys. Like, yeah, you're gonna be a lonely man because no chick, unless she's 100% comfortable with you, is gonna be honest about her body count.
And that I agree with.
And then, fucking, even then, he might take off a couple just to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be respectable." And you guys on your deathbed,
And by that time, your nose gonna be so open at her. And by that time that she tell you, your nose gonna be so open that you ain't gonna give a flying crap about her body count.
Exactly. There's gonna be 3-4 kids in, fucking house, all this shit, and you're gonna be like, what does it matter now?
And that I agree with.
Okay, so hear me out. And so you mean to tell me if you was with the chick and she told her body count, and then 20 years later, after y'all have built this empire, she was like, yeah, I fucked 3,000 guys, and you would just dip out?
No, I got him. Who's the baddest celebrity female that
right?
No, okay.
I'm not even saying that. Yeah, if you fall in love with a chick, get married, build an empire, and 20 years later, and you found out she fucked, or no, not found out, sorry. She said to you in your face, I fucked 3,000 guys, and here I got proof that I fucked 3,000 guys. You would just walk away. Exactly. Exactly.
I know. Wait. No, you didn't. No, hold on. My answer would be this, because by that time I would say 20 years, I'll be 50, 60 years old. Yeah, probably at that point. Yeah, I'll be pretty much too old at that point. I mean, unless I was like a fucking billionaire. Yeah, I'd probably be like, fuck it, I ain't got a choice. I might as well stick it out. Like I said,
it wouldn't matter if he was a billionaire, dude.
Oh, bullshit. You think
bro, you done fell in love, you done had kids, bro, you ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. You ain't going nowhere.
You know, you could say that. Again, I like I said, I would sit there and say, I personally, I don't know. I would like to say I would leave, but at that point, at that age, I don't know if I would. But again, hold on, wait. Let me finish my point. But again, when you have a 90, you had a 97. Was it like 97-year-old man? He found out his girl cheated on him back when they were 17, and he broke up with her. So So like I said, I don't know till I get there. But what I would say right now, but right now, what I would say is that yes, if I'm that age, like if I was a billionaire, probably yeah, because who cares? Because at that point, I could pay for random bitches. Fuck it. Because I'll be a fucking billionaire. But if I'm broke or like if I'm like middle class, then probably I'll just stick it out that point.
You're probably already doing that shit anyway. So
exactly. No. Okay. I'll do you one even better. I'll do you one even better. Fine. If you found the chick this year, built a relationship, had a kid, built an empire, and got married in 5 years, and you found out she fucked 3,000 guys, You would walk away from all of that.
I mean, it's not like keep the money. Yeah, I could probably walk away. I know I could.
And so you mean to tell me you would break up your family and your empire and your home?
Well, I just wait. Hold on. Wait a second. I just said if I had the money, yeah, I would. If I had the money, I probably could walk.
So you're gonna break up.
No,
So you're gonna
I'm
break
not
up the
saying
home
I
and
didn't say
everything.
any of that. I didn't say any of that. Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
You have a family, you have a girl, you've gotten married, you have built an empire. It doesn't, I'm not saying rich or none of that. You would walk away from that if you found out she fucked 3,000 guys.
Circumstantially checked, but I would say yes. I could actually.
That's
yes.
fucking that's absolutely terrible.
Kaepernick. I'm
could.
just telling you that his last name is Kaepernick because he capping. He capping. This is cap.
I mean,
that's
I could.
terrible. And so you would fucking walk away from your kid's mother if everything was great. Nothing. There was no hostility. No. That's you're a fucking monster. You're a fucking monster.
That sounds super selfish.
Fuck yeah. Like that is terrible, bro. You're
like for me, 3,000 is a pretty extreme number for me.
That's it. Okay, but what does it matter if you've been with this for 5 years and everything has been great and everything has been fine?
She haven't cheated on you or nothing. You haven't. She
haven't
done nothing to you.
Shit. Yeah, and she just told you her real number, and you're willing to look your kids in the face and tell them, "Hey, I'm leaving your mother because she fucked 3,000 guys before me."
I don't know if I could tell my kids that.
You have to. You have to.
Keyword before him.
Exactly, before. Yeah, and you can't say I can't tell my kids that. You have to. Either she does or you do. You both do, and you both have to answer for your shit. That's a fucking like hey, bro. You know I love you like a brother, but that's a monstrous fucking. That's just I can't.
Right? They're gonna be like, "Fuck you, Dad."
Fuck me,
hey, man. You talking with 3,000? I mean, I know we're going extreme number, but 3,000 is extreme, dude. I don't know. I would never.
The number doesn't matter. You're just putting the number out there. That's not the point. The whole point is that it doesn't freaking matter. It just doesn't matter. You know, it matters to other people. It matters to other people. It doesn't matter in your relationship.
And you would tear up a happy home just because of your ego. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I would say most dudes would.
No, I don't agree.
No,
I don't agree. Stop saying that. You know, like I said.
But no, I would stand by that statement. I will stand by. Yes, I believe most guys. Yes, I will say, as men get older, they care less about that. I agree. I will totally concede to that.
Dude,
but I will sit there and say,
like that when I was a youngster.
Yeah, but no, I personally do believe. Yes, I believe most men will have an issue with that. Yes, I will stand by that.
That's because it's ego. That's it. Like he said it perfect. Ego. That's all it is ego. It has nothing to do with the relationship. It's all ego. I think in her past doesn't matter.
I think it does.
Bro, there's dudes who get with their homeboys' exes.
Yes, I agree. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm not saying there's not guys out there.
How do you think they feel every time they invite their homeboy to they party and gathering, and knowing that this dude that screwed they wife? You think but they still able to keep going. They still able to still have life and not worry about it.
Yes, but the big thing, but that's the time. The big thing we're talking about is body count. We ain't even talked about that. That's a totally different situation.
What's worse than a body count being your friend?
Wait, what? Say that one more time.
You didn't hear what I said. I said
you said what's worse than you said what is worse than a body count being your friend? What?
Yeah, no, I'm saying there's people who end up with. Say you in college, right?
Yeah.
And you chilling with your homeboy, and in college he hooked up with the girl in college. Later on, you hooked up with her and you ended up marrying her.
Yes, that happens.
And right, that happens, and they're still able to live life. Right, that's a lot worse. That's a lot more awkward than a body count, because now every time you invite your homeboy over, he didn't hit your wife. You got that in your head. He hit my wife. He smashed. You get what I'm saying? That's a lot worse. But guys can still get through that. So you can't get through a body, and that's worse. And so you can't get through a body count of some dudes you don't even know that have no ties to you, that have nothing to do with you.
When it's that extremely high, yeah. When it's that extremely high, hell yeah, I don't think I get over that. Because to me, there's something else. Is that extremely high? Yeah.
Like I said, I ain't got nothing more to say about it. That's
right, because you lost me, dude. Like, I mean, there's
3,000, bro. You guys lost me when you're like, hey, I'm cool with a girl who has 3,000 bodies. That's crazy to me.
Do you realize there's married, retired porn stars?
Yes, I'm not denying. I didn't say they're not out there. I'm not saying there's not people who can do it. I'm not saying that there's not. But me, nah. Do I believe that the majority of dudes would be fine with marrying a girl with 3,000 bodies? No, I do not. I do not believe the majority of dudes. Well, now I would say this. Hold on, wait. I would say this. Because no, I do agree that there are women that lie about the body count, and afterwards you kind of deal with it. So, and to me, like, my stance is more like like,
okay, what so now we're gonna
hold on, wait. Let me finish. You keep interrupting. Let me finish.
Oh, ring any bells when you were on my podcast? But go ahead.
Because you keep interrupting. I mean, I'm literally in the middle of my sentence and you keep talking. Oh, fair enough. I did do that on your podcast. You're right.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're all right. I did do that. I'm trying to be better at that. I forgot. I'm just used to always debating. So, but anyways, back to what I was saying. To me. Oh fuck, never mind. Go ahead. I lost my train of thought. Damn it. Go ahead. I lost my train of thought.
That's because you started with some bullshit. No,
I didn't know it ain't the bullshit. This was freaking. I just lost my train of thought.
At the end of the day, it's dudes out there. Like I said, people care too much about what other people.
Now I remember what I was gonna say. Okay, on. Let me get it.
Okay. So,
yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Yes. Sorry, I had to say it. No. At the end of the day, long. I will say yes. You know, there are guys that can do that. Yes, and that's why I said, depending on the guy who you're dealing with, certain people can deal with certain things. It just depends on the man you're dealing with. We all can deal with different things.
Mature men can deal with it. Boys cannot.
Bullshit. I disagree with that. I don't think that has anything to do with maturity.
Okay, we're gonna have to dive deep. How many relationships have you been in?
Okay, fair enough.
Exactly. That's my biggest point in all of this. You have not been in love or a relationship in the last however many years in this fucking decade. Let's just say that. In this decade, things have changed.
Agreed.
So I will say this, because and I'll be the one to say it, it's a lot of badass porn stars out there that I'd still be with, because at the end of the day, they get that bag. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck how many niggas she fuck with. Bitch, take a bath, do some Listerine, wash your mouth. I don't give a fuck, because at the end of the day, I care about that bag. At the end of the day, because in all truthfulness, porn stars are like NFL players. They got a 10-year fucking shelf life and nobody gives a fuck about them anymore. So what does it matter? It's not like we can't live on and be fine. And yes, will she be recognized by maybe one or two people? But like, what the fuck do I care? If we're living good and we've built an empire, what the fuck does that matter? What the fuck does that matter if she fuck niggas for her job? What do I care? Because I don't know. I niggas have that young mind style. I'm not gonna say teenage, but that's just that mind style of that you ain't been in a relationship, and just like I said at the beginning of this, it's nothing like having that other person to be there for you when nobody else is, you're not just going to walk away from that feeling, and you're not going to leave your wife. Who cares how many body count or how many people she's fucked?
Not to mention,
You're not going to look your kids in the face and just walk away. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you feel. You as a man, if you are a good father, not a monster, not a fucking, because my dad died and I was 3 years old. I've never had a father in my life. And you know how that feels. You know how that feels. So I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe for the type of man you are and how you grew up and with just your mother at the end of the day, and that you will put your kids through that. Miss me with that bullshit. Miss me. I don't believe you in the fucking slightest. Your selfishness, your greed is just bullshit. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, and you can't tell me that that's true. Yes, you can say that right now because you've never been in a relationship, or not never been in a relationship, but you haven't been in a relationship in a long time. But like I said, if you have a child and you look that child in the face, especially a son, I guarantee that, and that whole theory of yours gets kicked the fuck out the window. I guarantee.
Okay, so hold on, wait. Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this.
Oh, you're gonna make me forget my joke. All right.
Yeah. So I'll say this. Now, is there a chance maybe if I had a kid with all that, could I change? Possibly, because I'm not in that position, and I'll give you that. I'm not in that position. I don't have a family or nothing like that yet. But what I will say, at least right now, my hope is that I could figure that out before we even get to that point.
Like I said,
realistically, you're not, dude. I mean, realistically, all bullshit aside, realistically, you're not. And when that girl makes you scream like old boy in Home Alone 2 when he got electrocuted, you're not gonna give a fuck either. When your toes curl like Eddie Murphy and Boomerang, you're not gonna give two F's about what she done, okay? Bro, you're not gonna care. You're like,
and that goes into the point when I say that's why guys that have a lot of sex right there, because that's some real shit.
Especially long as it's been. You know what I'm saying? Long as it's been, a female right now, the right female get a hold of you, your nose gonna be wide open, bro. I'm sorry, it's gonna be wide open. You gonna be like, well, guys, I'm getting married. You been like, it's 6 months in. 6 months in, I'm getting married.
I moved in with her, man.
I moved in with her, man.
3 months.
She gonna suck the cobwebs off this.
She's 7 months pregnant. It's like, damn, nigga.
She done sucked the cobwebs off the shit. They're like, oh God. And then she's like, you know what? I've been with 3,000 guys. You know what, bitch? I don't give a fuck. Keep sucking, bitch. Keep sucking.
What does be like? What the fuck does that useless ass information have to do with me?
All right. Full transparency, full pant transparency. I will say this. I have legitimately been in that situation before. I'm not even gonna lie. And this is why I sit down, like one of the homies told me, I do agree. That's why your ass as a man need to fuck a bunch of fucking females so that doesn't happen to you. Because that shit did happen to me. I'm not even gonna fucking lie. Not even gonna lie about that.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just one of those things where, like I said, the older you get, the more, yes, you're just like, body count, what the fuck does that matter at the end of the day? I mean,
it's maturity, man. It's maturity.
I will say this. Yes, 3,000 is excessive. But I do a double take because I mean, honestly, I'd feel more bad for her. Be like, damn, bitch, you got fucked by 3,000 guys. Are you all right? Like, That would be my first question, bitch. Are you okay? Like internally, like we need to get you some X-rays because that
right.
is
You know, there's actually a world record for that. What's his name? They actually did a video. The white porn star dude with the curly hair. They did like a marathon to have the world record of most dudes screwing a female.
Wasn't it like 941 or something like in a day?
Yeah, they actually. I forget the number, but they did that shit.
Yeah, I know
it's like
what
296 or some shit. It's like
I could have
it's like a little under 300.
No, I could have sworn the woman who beat the record was like 941 in like one day. I'll look it up real quick.
Oh no, I gotta look it up.
Like, I think I've seen that, but it's like, weren't they like 2 strokes a piece or some shit? Like, does that really count?
No, I know they all busted. However many strokes it took them, they all busted. You know, at the end of the day.
I don't believe 900 dudes, but nah, bro. In a day, 24 hours.
They would just take that. I mean, hey, you can nut pretty fast when you don't care about the passion.
That's true.
Okay, there it is. I was right. Okay, so I was off by a little bit, but here it is. Oops. Here it is. I'll pull it up right now.
But
so here it is, the record. Woman holds the world record for sleeping with 919 men in one day.
And that bitch like a cripple afterwards, like she couldn't move or some shit. Like
he said, was she a cripple afterwards? Hey, it got her in the world records.
Yeah.
919, bro. That is crazy.
In one day. In 2004, this nice young lady set a new world record for having sex with the most men in one day at an event called Annual World Gameplay Championship in Poland. Her competition were 2 other women, which one held the record before having slept with 759 men in a day, reports the Ghana Nation. Lisa Sparks slept with 919 men within 12 hours. Take a minute and think about it in the most holistic way possible. According to the sexual math, an average of 45 seconds with each man, which I hear is 13.5 seconds more than even require.
45 seconds? No, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And what's even more, she won the competition by just 21 men.
He must do Kegels or something, because there's no way, bro.
Man, look. These women be lifting weights with they shit now, bro. They got coochie weights.
True. That's
true. They put the ball in there and they hold it, bro, and they squat up and down with that shit. They do squats with the pussy weight, like, you know what I'm saying? They be having that snatcher, that killer. If they really, man, I'm telling you.
But isn't that kind of, I mean, I'm sorry, I gotta jump off of what Keith said, because isn't that kind of scary? Because women like that always scare me, because I always feel like if I ever piss her off, she's just gonna freaking get super strong, just break my shit in half. No. Right? Like, I heard you fuck that bitch last week. I got a prep for you.
Nah, I can't agree with that, because like I said, I've known a bitch who did that shit, and that shit feels amazing. So that shit's like a suction cup on the dick. That shit's amazing.
Man, shit ain't nothing like having that coochie that can know how to that can. Woo! I don't know. It's a family show, right? It's a family.
It was an older chick too, because man, the older chick, she was like 43, man. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, they know what they doing.
Yeah, the older chick, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're going good thing about it.
Women are the best.
They're going good thing about a body count for you. Experience, brother. Experience. You want experience when they.
And she's like, oh, I've seen your kind before. I know what to do. Jesus Christ, man. I don't know, man.
Get you one of them. It don't matter what you got. She gonna adjust to the occasion.
and she gonna have a house, 2 cars, kids are gonna be gone. He like, see, older women are
she
nice.
Gonna feed you.
Yeah, exactly. All they want is just you. Give her some compliments, rub her feet after work, tear that ass up, and shit. And you'll have access to every car, the whole house, and she'll buy you every game system. You ain't even gotta work. With the old chick, you ain't even gotta work. You ain't even gotta work, bro.
Man, my cousin right now that been on all kind of trips, got a new car, play PS5, and this nigga don't do shit.
Seriously.
Got him and this is no cap. Like this thing, that is no cap. She got a new car, be going on trips, and got him a PS5 off from this older chick. Telling you, just
Oh no, I'm not
being her.
gonna argue that because I've heard stories like that about older chicks. When dudes say older chick, yeah, they tend to take care of the dude. If you're talking about an older chick, yeah.
You think he worried about her body count?
Exactly. Yeah, he could care less. He care about that PS5 and every single new game that comes out for that motherfucker. That's what he care about.
Matter of fact, he keeping her secret. He don't want nobody even see her. I ain't even seen her. I ain't even seen. He don't want nobody know about this chick. It's like his best kept secret. He don't want nobody putting salt in this game. He's like, oh no, y'all can't meet this one.
I don't have a family. all my family died in a plane crash years ago. Elite your Facebook, your Twitter, Instagram. Hey, that's a small price to pay to not have no internet. I mean, not no internet, no Instagram, no Twitter, no Facebook, to get every single thing you ever wanted. Fine by me. I'll erase all that shit right goddamn now. I know that.